Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today's lesson is about, as you can see the title, pre-registered guest check-in procedure. So in this lesson, we're going to see some of the most important steps and phases that we should follow while making a pre-registered guest check-in procedure. So we'll see the steps to follow so as to avoid all the mistakes and all the problems that you might face while doing this job or doing this task. So the title, okay, it's repeated here, but it's okay, no problem. Pre-registered guest check-in procedure. So here the procedures are described in details in step by step so that you would get through knowledge of the required procedure or procedures that are followed in while checking in the pre-registered guest. Step number one, a requirement for check-in. So a pre-registered guest must be checked in within the night shift before the night audit in an inspected room as per the guest's requirement. So here, as you remember, or okay, if you still remember, the previous course was about night auditor, and as you can see here in the first step, it's one of the tasks or one of the jobs of the night audit to make a pre-registered guest because he is the responsible at night and he or she is okay, she does night shifts. So okay, while the clerk or the receptionist who is going to come in the morning, he or she is going to find all the information about the pre-registered guest who has been checked in. Step number two, preparation for check-in. A guest registration card must be printed and a key card to be prepared and kept on hold for the guest at the front desk. So the second step is it has to do with the card or okay with the guest registration card. It must be present. It must be there, so as when the guest comes, there should be no problem. Because the more you prepare the guest registration card beforehand, the less problems and the troubles you are going to face. Step number three, perform check-in procedure. When the guest arrives and presents his name at the front desk, a normal check-in must be done. After information, a pre-registered booking, as the room has been held for him from the previous night, and therefore he would be charged from the previous night. So once the guest arrives, once the guest arrives or reaches the hotel, and he has the first contact with the receptionist, the check-in procedure must be performed. And the more, or if he is late, you are going to be responsible for that, and consequently, you might be given a fine, or you might be charged for something for a minor mistake that you have committed. So you should be always alert and cautious and carefully pay attention to the tasks you perform in your job. Step number four, perform payment procedures for room and other charges. Mention these facilities included in the rate and ask if he or she would like to include anything and add charge if so. Check the billing instruction and ask guest the mode of payment. If all details are correct, print a registration card and ask the guest to sign it. So here you must not you should, but you must ask the guest if he or if she would like to have some facilities. I don't know, maybe he or she would like to have access to the swimming pool or to the mini bar or to the parking. I don't know. So you should ask him or her about the facilities they would like to include in their service. Check in the guest in the system and make a room key. Put the key in a key wallet, write the room number and the departure date on it, and hand it over to the guest. So the time of the arrival and the date of departure should be clear. So as when the guest would like to leave, he or she should leave with a signed and with the bills being paid. And also this also when you specify the date of arrival and the date of departure, this make you away for puts you away from troubles and problems that might happen in the front desk or for the receptionist. Step number 5: call the bellboy to carry guest luggage. Ask the guest about luggage and introduce the bellboy by saying, "Do you have any luggage? Enjoy your stay with us. Please give me a call if you need any assistance." So as you know, sometimes, if not all the time, guests carry luggages and baggages also. And when they arrive at the hotel, so and the person who is responsible for luggage, as you are sure of, is the bellboy. So you call the bellboy to accompany or to escort the guest to his or to her room. And of course, you tell him, if you need anything, I'm at your disposal. You can call me or ring me at any time you like. Step number 6: escort the guest to the room. After the bellboy is introduced, the bellboy should say, "Welcome to the hotel name, sir. Allow me to please escort you to your room to start the conversation, inquire about his flight, talk about the weather." While escorting or while taking the guest to his room, it's good to start a little chit chat or a little talk, but do not get involved in personal questions or political or maybe sometimes religious talks. So we spoke about this before. Try to have a superficial discussion. Step number 7: introduce the room to the guest. After entering to the room, you should say to your guest, "Welcome to your room, sir. Switch on the lights. Would you like me to familiarize you with your room?" If the guest asks you to do so, then introduce the room, including all room facilities to guest. There are some kinds of guests who go to hotels for the first time. You should tell him or tell her. So as I said, you should familiarize the guest with the facilities the room has, so as not to bother you through calling you several times after you leave. Step number 8: give guest number for any kind of help. You should also say, dear sir or dear madam, if it's a woman. For any other queries, you can dial on one touch assistance. My name is H, and if you would need anything else, you will be able to find me at this number, and I would be happy to be of assistance to you. So this is all the protocol and the politeness that every every worker or every clerk should have in the hotel, because I repeated this several times. Politeness and smile is the key to success in all the fields and with all kinds of people. So give him the number, and if he or if she needs anything, they are going to contact you. And of course, keep the smile. Step number 9: take leave from the guest and wish him for an enjoyable stay. At last, you should wish him by saying, "Have a pleasant stay, sir." Close the door gently behind you. So you can see the picture. There is a flower being There is a flower given to the guest. Not specifically the flower. It can be something else, symbolic, of course. In this way, the guest is going to feel at ease and is going to feel happy for that, even if it's something which is symbolic. So we are done with the lesson. Now the part of the writing. Of course, it is divided as usual into two tasks. The first one: paraphrase the course in a very coherent paragraph. And 2, after you have had full understanding of the lesson, what do you think are the most interesting steps? So we mentioned 9 steps. What do you think are the most important steps for you? Mention them and comment about them. So this is the end. Of course, as usual, if you have any queries or questions or remarks, you are most welcome to contact me at any time. Do not hesitate.